What if I told you that more than half of everything the average American eats every single day is not really food? Like, it's technically food. It won't kill you on the spot, but your body, your gut, your energy levels, they've been filing complaints for years. It's just you and we haven't been reading the fine print. Today, we're going to be talking about ultra-processed foods, what they actually are, and why the government just issued its first ever warning about them, and the brand new certification label that's about to separate the real ones from the performers. Stay with me, this one matters. Alright, let's start from the beginning, because even scientists couldn't agree on this until recently. An ultra-processed food, according to something called the NOVA classification system, is basically any food that's been industrially modified to the point where it barely resembles anything your great-grandmother would recognize as food. We're not just talking about chips and candy. We're talking about things that sound healthy. Flavored yogurt with 23 ingredients, whole grain bread that somehow has a shelf life longer than your lease, protein bars that list things like soy protein isolate, carrageenan, and my personal favorite, natural flavors. You know what else is technically natural? Crude oil, I'm just saying. The telltale signs of ultra-processed foods are ingredients you couldn't buy at the grocery store, artificial colors, sweeteners or preservatives, flavoring agents designed in a lab to make you keep eating, and a nutrition label that needs a chemistry degree to decode. Now here is where it gets real. A major report dropped just a few weeks ago, May 2026, from a group called Healthy Eating Research, and what they found was sobering. More than half of all the calories eaten by American adults come from ultra-processed foods. For kids, it's even higher. So if you've been wondering why your energy crashes and why your gut's been acting up and why you eat and still feel empty, the food supply has something to do with it. Now, for something that doesn't happen very often. The US government actually said something useful about food. I know, I was surprised too. Earlier this year, the Department of Health and Human Services issued, for the very first time in American history, official federal guidance telling people to avoid highly processed food. The exact words used were, and I quote, "Something is poisoning the American people." That's not wellness blogger. That's a cabinet secretary. Now, whether you agree with the politics or not, the underlying science has been building for years. Researchers have linked high ultra-processed food intake to heart disease, obesity, gut damage, cognitive decline, and even bone loss. Your bones are literally losing density because of how processed the food supply has become. And look, we're not here to be doom and gloom. We're here because knowledge is power. And right now, you are more powerful than ever because the food industry is starting to feel the pressure. Okay, here is the part I'm genuinely excited about. You know, the non-GMO Project Butterfly, the little label that trained millions of consumers to flip products over and actually look. The same organization is launching something new. It's called the Non-UPF Verified. And it's exactly what it sounds like. A third-party certification that tells you this product has been evaluated and it does not contain the industrial additives and processing methods that classify it as ultra-processed. Now, as of right now, only 16 brands have gone through the pilot program, but hundreds more are already on the wait list. Because the brands that care, they know this is coming. The brands that don't, they're hoping you won't notice. And you're gonna notice. Here's what to look for when this label starts rolling out. Shorter ingredient lists. If you can't say it, your body probably doesn't know what to do with it either. Real whole food ingredients. Oats should just be oats. Almonds should just be almonds. And when there are 14 things in your almond butter, some of them are not almonds. No artificial preservatives, colorings, or flavor systems. Yes, flavor systems is a real industry term. They named it so that you wouldn't ask questions. Look, here's the move right now. Before this label is everywhere, start checking for brands that already are clean. Companies that have been doing the right thing before it was trendy. That's the game by choice way. Not waiting for a label to tell you, knowing why you're choosing something. So, what do you actually do with all this? Because I know it can feel overwhelming. Like, Do I throw out my whole pantry? And do it. Do it right now. Nah, I'm playing. Please don't. Let's be practical. Let's start with the ingredient list that's not on the front of the package. The front of the package is basically a marketing department's Pinterest board. Inspiring, aspirational, but not always honest. The ingredient list is where the truth lives. Use the 5 ingredient rule as a starting point. This isn't absolutely law, but if a product has more than 5 ingredients and you can't identify most of them, it's worth a second look. Watch for these red flag ingredients. Anything ending in ose that isn't in the top 3. For example, fructose, maltose, dextrose, partially hydrogenated anything, artificial colors like red 40, yellow 5, blue 1, carrageenan, natural and artificial flavors listed together. That combo is a vibe check fail. Start swapping, not overhauling. One product at a time. This week, maybe it's your salad dressing. Next week, maybe it's your bread. Small, consistent choices. That's the game. And when you're eating out, which is something we dive into a lot on this channel, look for restaurants that source locally, use whole ingredients, and don't hide behind menus that say house sauce when they can't actually tell you what's in it. Because if they're proud of their food, they'll tell you exactly what's in there. Here's what I want you to hold on to. This isn't just about your health, although that's reason enough. Every time you choose a product that's minimally processed, organic, and honestly made, you're sending a financial signal to the entire food system. You're telling them what gets funded, what gets shelf space, and what gets made. The ultra-processed food industry is a multi-trillion-dollar machine, and it runs on your dollars. And when enough people start redirecting those dollars, the machine changes. We've seen it with organic. 20 years ago, organic was a niche. Now, it's in every grocery store in America because consumers demand it and pay for it. The same shift is coming for ultra-processed foods, and you can be ahead of it, not because someone told you to, because you chose it. If this video helped you see your grocery cart differently, even just a little, that's a gain. Drop a comment below. What's one product you're going to flip over and check this week? I genuinely love to know. And if you're new here, welcome to Game by Choice. We talk about real food, clean products, and the restaurants across the US that are actually doing things right. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one, because your next choice is closer than you think.